Hey, amazing Henrico second graders. My name is Miss B, and I am a second grade teacher at Glenlee Elementary, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about how to tell time to the nearest 5 minutes. Let's get started. We can show time in a lot of different ways. But for this video, we're mainly going to use an analog clock. An analog clock has two hands. The red hand in this clock is the minute hand, and the blue hand in this clock is the hour hand. The hour hand tells us what hour it is. And the minute hand tells us the minutes. Every year I have a student ask me, Miss B, how do I tell the difference between the minute hand and the hour hand? Well, I tell them to look at the length of the word. The word minute is much longer than the word hour. So the longer hand is going to be the minute hand, and the shorter hand is going to be the hour hand. When the minute hand is pointing up to the 12, we call that o'clock. So what time would it be? We would say it's 5 o'clock. My hour hand is pointing to the 5, and my minute hand is pointing up at the 12. When we're writing the time, first we write the hour, then we have a colon, then we write the minutes. So this is what 5 o'clock would look like. My blue represents the hour, and my red represents the minutes. Now let's review counting by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. You might be wondering, why in the world am I having you count by fives? As you can see, when we go around the clock, we're going to count by fives. Above each blue number, there is a red number that shows the minutes. This shows 5 o'clock. Even though there's a 60 above the 12, we know that we would say 5 o'clock. The 60 shows that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. The time is now 5:05. My hour hand is pointing to the 5, and my minute hand is pointing to the 1. If I count by fives one time, I land at 5. The time is now 5:10. My hour hand is still at the 5, and my minute hand is at the 2. If I count by 5 2 times, I get 10. The time is now 5:15. My hour hand is still at the 5, and my minute hand is at the 3. 5, 10, 15. We count by 5 4 times. The time is now 5:20. Count by 5 5 times. The time is now 5:25. I know that when my minute hand is pointing to the 6, that means it's showing 30. The time is now 5:30. My minute hand is telling me I need to count by 5 7 times to figure out my minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. The time is now 5:35. My minute hand is telling me to count by fives 8 times. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. The time is now 5:40. When I count by 5 9 times, I get 45. The time is now 5:45. My minute hand tells me to count by 5 10 times. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. The time is now 5:50. I know it's 5 and not 6 because it hasn't become a new hour yet. My minute hand has traveled to the 11. I know when I count by 5 11 times, I get 55. My time is now 5:55. My minute hand has made it all the way back to 12. That means it's a whole new hour. The time is now 6 o'clock. So what happens to the hour hand as the minute hand travels around the clock? The hour hand moves too. Let's practice. Feel free to pause so you can have more time to think. What time is it? I know first I need to start with my hour hand, so I'm going to look at my short blue hand, and then I need to look at the minutes. To figure out the minutes, I know I need to count by 5. So what time is it? It's 2:15. What time is it? Be sure to start with your hour hand and then count your minutes. It's 9:10. What time is it? It's 10:20. Great job, second grade superstars. You're amazing, and I know you're making your teachers very proud. Thanks for watching.